All right. This is for my YouTube user, Florida217. I know it's hard, man. I know it's hard. And I know Florida's hard because Georgia followed up Florida when the opioid epidemic hit. And I lost a couple friends behind that shit because the doctors refused to give us IV pain meds and IV fluids. They wanted us to force fluids and give us the 800 milligram Motrin. I was sick. I went to the ER at Memorial Hospital in Savannah, Georgia. And they sat there. The doctor was like, look, you don't seem like you just at the third to me. Hadn't drawn blood, hadn't done nothing. Nothing. And was telling me that he was going to force fluids and give me some Motrin. And I got upset. I was like, yo, dude, if you think I'm here because I'm a drug seeker, I pulled out $500 cash. I said, I got $500 cash right here in my pocket. You don't know where I live. I live in the projects. The dude on my left sells crack, the dude on my right sells powder, and the dude across the street sells heroin, and the dude down the block sells weed. If I want to be a drug addict, why the fuck would I come here and be a documented drug addict? So that's going to fuck up my record. And I went on ahead and snatched off the wristband, threw that shit in the hall, and I walked out. Went like 5 blocks around the corner to another hospital. They hospitalized me for 2 weeks. I had an infection. I had secondary infections. My blood work was all out of whack. And they found that shit out just by drawing my labs, which the first doctor didn't do. So I understand your frustration. Got security called on me at the first hospital, in fact. The only thing that saved my ass that time was that the cop that showed up happened to be the uncle of the girl I was dating at the time. What y'all can't do is leave the hospital against medical advice. What y'all can't do is go in there with a defensive, angry attitude to begin with, expecting to be mistreated. Like I've said in another post, while you're dealing with your situation, realize that they're dealing with theirs. You might be patient 200 in the third hour of a 72-hour rotation, and they're on day 2. And they've been staying at the hospital the whole damn time. Not home sleeping in their bed, not even able to pace their own floor. Your pain is real. Nobody can discount that. They can try. But if you get to know them a little bit, find one nurse that's sympathetic and always be cool with her, always be respectful to her, and watch that nurse fight for you. Watch her advocate for you. She may be white, she may be Mexican, she may not even be black. I had a nurse one time that had a daughter that had sickle cell, and I had an asshole for a doctor at that point. And I went in Friday. Not too bad, labs weren't that jacked up. I was all right until about 8 p.m. Then that shit was like somebody flipped a switch. And that shit went from 0 to 1,000. I was levitating off the bed. I'm talking about the only thing touching the bed was my head and my heels. My little brother, God rest his soul, walked in the door while I was in the middle of that shit. And he stopped and he saw me. And he was like, what can I do? I said, give me my gun. He said, where is it? I said, it's in the nightstand. He went over, he got my gun out, he checked the mag, he checked the chamber, dropped the mag, checked the chamber, tucked it in his pocket, and he went to the nurse's station and got the nurse. My nurse that night was a sister, and she has a daughter with sickle cell. I don't remember what happened next. When I woke up, it was 8 a.m. the next day, and the nurse was sitting in the chair next to my bed. And I asked her, "What are you doing here?" She said, "I've been here all night with you." I said, "What time is it?" She said, "It's 8 a.m. I said, "The last time I checked the time, it was 8 p.m. She said, "Yeah, you were screaming all night." I asked my charge nurse, could I shift my load of patients to the other nurses? And I sat in here with you all night. I've just been sitting here pushing meds. And she pulled out a syringe of morphine. And she said in my other pocket, she pulled out a syringe of adrenaline. She said, "Just in case your heart stopped." You can earn that too. But you gotta treat your staff with respect. I know there's bullshit out there, but you gotta find the ones that do care and not abuse them. Don't let your personal fear, don't let your pain, don't let your anger get to you. It is what it is. This is our life. We are the superhumans. Now, you can sit there and feel sorry for yourself and compare yourself to other people if you want to. That's a bad path to go down. Don't lead nowhere but to depression and self-destruction. Or you can find your peace, and you'll attract someone that will love you and care for you and watch out for you and advocate for you so that you don't have to sit there and advocate for yourself all the time. Man, it's cold in the sun, bitch, out here. Y'all see this shit? Bruh, I gotta get the fuck back south. I don't know you, Florida, but stay strong, man. There's already one sickler on here that done disappeared on me, and I think she done did what she said she was gonna do to herself. She told me back in September she was gonna take her mom on vacation because they'd never been on one together, and then she was gonna come home and carry out her plan for suicide. Her name was Tomboy Turtle Tomboy. Nell. She's a doctor over in England, somewhere. And I don't know her last name to find her. To find out if they found someone dead in their apartment of apparent suicide or anything. To see if there's an obituary. Don't be the next one. Take care.